We're here with Matt Lovgren.
Yes.
Matt, entrepreneur, businessman, expert salesperson, kind of very self-aware. And I appreciate you being here. I think you've got
Thanks for the time, man.
Absolutely. I think you've got a lot to share with our listeners about self-discovery, about passion, about you tell us kind of what are some of the things that brought you this far, because I feel like you're in a great spot in life. You've really you've kind of brought yourself, you've designed a life that fits for yourself and your family, and you knew that somehow early on. How did you know that, and how did you then execute it?
No, good question. That was an evolving process, right? I mean, when I first wanted to design our life, my wife and I and our daughter, it was really more, okay, I got to pay off student loans, I'd like to buy a house, and that's sort of mundane stuff that seems important, and which it is, but you know, your drive and your purpose changes, and over time, which now I really like finding young entrepreneurs that have a dream in their heart and they want to pursue it and they are excited. They don't even have to be entrepreneurs, salespeople, you name it. I mean, if you have a dream that you want to pursue, perhaps in some capacity I can help.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but maybe your listeners from our little dialogue here will get a nugget here and there, and hopefully they can internalize that and apply it to their lives and for future successes.
So yeah, we were talking about like you discovered kind of your purpose throughout your life, but what it boils down to is kind of awakening that dream inside of people, helping people dream, helping inspire people.
Yeah.
That's part of your purpose, and you do that in your everyday life. You do that in appearances like this. You do that with some of the people you mentor, but you're still actively being mentored. I think all of the greats are.
Right. That never changes. Right?
Yeah.
It's constant.
Right. We're trying to figure out how to help people get a head start or change the way they think so that they can design a life.
Right. Like they almost have to get out of their own way.
Yeah.
Right? Because that was huge for me early on, and which is still today. I think it's very important to understand who you get your advice from for whatever life you want to design. Right?
So if you want to, let's say you want to be financially free by the age of 30, you don't want to be talking to someone who's ridden with debt and
exactly. And I think that's some of the biggest challenges. I'm a friends and family guy. I love my family. I love my friends. But as I looked at my life and as I was attempting to design the life that we desire, which never changes, we're still constantly growing and changing. But as I was looking at that process, I love my friends dearly. But in order to get different opinions, I had to look outside of my sphere of influence. I just didn't have a bunch of multi-millionaire financially independent friends that were willing to share with me, hey, do this. What moves? Here's the moves I'm making that you're not. Here's how you're going to get to where you want. I didn't have that, and I think that's a challenge for most people, because when they have an idea, who do you typically take it to? Your friends, right? Your family members, which is fine, but know that they might just be providing an opinion and not true advice with facts behind it. And I think that's a challenge because you love your friends and family dearly, but sometimes, your neighbors are your neighbors for a reason.
Yeah.
If you want to move on from your neighborhood, you might have to look outside of your neighborhood, right? If I'm needing heart surgery, am I going to go talk to a plumber?
Right.
He works with valves. No way, Jose, right? I'm going to go to a heart surgeon.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the same thing when you're figuring out how do you want to live? What do you want to live like? Go to people who have what you have.
Have what you want.
Or have what you want. And if they're willing, pick their brains, ask some questions, be thoughtful, be mindful of the time, but also apply. Apply the wisdom that they have that can help you get to where you want to go.
I think that's the problem. That's where most people, they'll get good advice and then they'll forget it because they're not applying it. So
right.
that is huge. But a lot of people are afraid to talk to somebody that for fear of they won't talk to me or they won't answer my questions or why would they share this with me?
Right.
Why would they take my phone call? Why would they take a meeting with me? What I've learned is people want to help. That is
It's huge.
purpose for a lot of people. It's help as many people as I possibly can, and that brings satisfaction
Right.
to us.
Right.
Many of us, most of us probably.
And I would say this to people who maybe have a little fear of asking people that are further down the trail than them or financially successful or whatever, these types of questions. Don't have a fear in that. And here's why. Because those people, the majority, they had people help them.
Yeah.
So now that they've accomplished where they want to be, or obviously I'm sure they're still accomplishing where they want to go, because drivers and success-minded people never want to be constant. They want to continually grow. But they know where they came from. They know the process you're going through. And what do people who become experts in certain disciplines or certain fields love to do? Talk about them, their discipline, their field. Does Tiger Woods love talking about golf? Absolutely. Do business owners who are financially successful in the entrepreneurship world love talking about entrepreneurship? Absolutely. If you're not wasting their time.
And it's coming from a true
desire to learn.
Yeah. Okay. Not the ulterior motive that a lot of people. I mean, we. Get
How can you help me?
Yeah. Yeah. We get hit with sales calls all day, every day, and it's the people that are truly out to share that knowledge that you might bring to them if they're out there with the right humble mindset and attitude of bringing value to other people, sharing with other people. Like your word's going to spread for the good.
Exactly.
And I think people at the top of their field, they want to help bring the whole field up to another level.
Yeah.
And so sharing isn't sharing with your competitors isn't seen as something that's intimidating or that they shouldn't do, that they're fearful of doing.
Right.
Training their
And they'll tell you if they don't want to.
Yeah.
Well, then move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple. There's a lot of people out there and there are a lot of resources, where you can, gain the knowledge you so desire. And sometimes I don't even know if you know what knowledge it is.
Yeah.
Just going through the process will elicit new experiences and new questions, and always be inquisitive.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think through being inquisitive, it opens up the door to learning new things, gaining knowledge in fields and disciplines you might not know about, which throughout your life will become a very, very attractive skill to have. If you can become a storyteller and relate to people. I mean, finding mentorship, developing mentorship, having experiences, all comes down to developing yourself, and you might not even realize it at that time until someday you're in a big meeting where you now, because you went through something 10 years ago, now have the ability to connect with the decision maker. Thank God you were pursuing that experience early on, so now you can relate.
Yeah.
Right. So
That's huge. One thing I know about you, I know you're very humble, and it's hard to to pat yourself on the back, or it's hard to share some of this. But other than raising an amazing daughter, what's something you're the most proud of? What do you think you do the best? Why do you think you're in such a great position? Have satisfaction in your life? Have some ability to follow your dreams and pursue your dreams and do the things that make you happy, and the pursuit is happiness, and you get that. Why? Like what are some of the things? I know this is uncomfortable for you, but
no, it's fine. But you're right though. Staying humble is one of the biggest keys to, I think, anybody's success. The moment you think you're the big deal, get ready. You're not going to be the big deal really quickly, because it's super off-putting, and I'm excited about this interview, and yes, it's poses some challenges because it's talking about success things, but you know what? If it helps somebody, that's the value it brings, and that's the important thing. But what am I most proud of? I am most proud that I was a student of other people's successes. And I've always tried to put myself in a position where I could learn. Because I deep down, I knew I was destined for greatness, but I also knew that I didn't know all the answers. And I didn't have all the answers, and I needed to develop a network that would be willing to share answers with me. But that takes relationships. That takes having that hungry spirit, but also being able to convey that in a way that isn't distasteful to someone who may want to share some thoughts with you. So that's something I think I'm very proud of, is being able to develop that ability to connect and be inquisitive and genuinely show interest in what other people are doing. And frankly, it's not just in business, it's in everything.
And it comes easy to you because you truly are passionate.
Yeah.
You truly are interested.
And I study.
That's the differentiator, I feel like.
You have to study. I study people skill books all the time. I study books, Everybody Communicates, Very Few Connect. Think about that title for a minute.
Yeah.
Connection is where the majority of people miss the boat. They don't connect.
Sure.
They're just out there talking. Having conversations, walking in circles.
Yep.
Connection is where you develop those meaningful relationships that are mutually beneficial. But you have to study how to connect. You're not born just with the ability to connect.
Interesting.
Right?
I think that's what a lot of people miss, is they think that's just not me. I'm not a great
connector.
leader. I'm not a connector. I'm not a people person.
Yeah, become a people person.
Yeah.